So, good morning, students. In last two lectures, we have studied about solid waste disposal methods. We have studied six methods like incineration, pyrolysis, composting, sanitary landfilling, shading, autoclaving, and disposal in land. Okay? And in this lecture, we will study about the characteristics of solid waste. We have studied water treatment, we have studied wastewater treatment. In those lectures, in those particular topics, we have studied the characteristics basically, and we have studied what we have seen. We have seen three characteristics: physical, chemical, and biological. So first of all, I want to ask, what do you understand by physical, chemical, and biological characteristics? The physical characteristics is basically defined when you feel that particular characteristics physically, like taste, odor, color. These kind of characteristics belongs to physical characteristics. If you take a thing, or if you take a thing and you're tasting that particular stuff, then you can give advice to others that it is sour, it is sweet. In the same way, you can see the color of that particular physical quantity by your eyes, that is black, is blue. It's a physical thing. And order, this is good order, bad order. These are the physical characteristics. After that, what is chemical characteristics? In chemical characteristics, chemical equations are involved, chemical reactions are involved. Like we have studied a hardness, that was chemical characteristics of water. I am just giving example: hardness, alkalinity, because in these kind of characteristics, chemical reactions or chemical equations are we have observed. If you talk about biological characteristics, so what is biological characteristics? So when we talk about biological characteristics, in those particular characteristics, we have seen that microorganisms takes place. And what they do in wastewater characteristics, what they do, they have decomposed organic matter, the presence of oxygen. Okay, so basically in this chapter we will study about the characteristics of solid waste. Fine. So one by one we will do study. So come to the first point here. Characteristics of solid waste. So first we have seen what is solid waste. Solid waste, there are three arrows you can see here. I am showing to you. First is this, second is this, and third is this. So first arrow, what is first arrow? This one. What is solid waste? Solid waste are not liquid nor gaseous. Solid waste are waste that are not liquid and not gaseous, you all know. Second point, this one I am talking about. Solid waste are the discarded solid materials from municipal, industrial and agricultural activities. That thing we also know. The term solid waste means materials such as household garbage, food wastage, yard wastage, and demolition or construction debris. Okay, debris you can say. So here a word come, debris. Debris means scattered pieces of rubbish or remains. Fine. And here a word come, yard waste. That is, so basically yard waste, you can say the green waste is synonym of yard waste. Green waste, what is green waste? Also known as biological waste, is any organic waste that can be composted. It is most usually composed of refuse from gardens such as grass, clippings or leaves, and domestic or industrial kitchen wastage. Green wastage does not include things such as dry leaves. Fine. So basically, dried leaves, pine straw or hay. Fine. So that was solid waste. Now come to the next slide. Second is classification of solid waste. Classification of solid waste, we have studied e-wastage, industrial wastage, biomedical wastage, agricultural wastage, municipal solid wastage. Here is a triangle in front of you. Basically, you can say pyramid from bottom to top. We are going to, so basically from bottom to top, if we are going, so we are seeing from municipal solid waste, agricultural waste to biomedical waste to industrial waste and e-wastage. Okay. After that, we go to the next slide. So you can see here e-wastage, basically electronic wastage, agricultural wastage, industrial wastage, biomedical wastage. After that, waste characteristics. The main topic are waste characteristics. There are three characteristics. Characteristics means basically what is the character of that particular thing. If you talk about an example of human beings, then you have talked about, or you have seen, or you have seen people are talking in a way that you have to make your characteristic certificate. So that particular characteristic certificate show the characters of basically characters in from which a human being replaced or a human being can show his characters. So in the same way, in our chapter waste characteristics, waste will show its characteristics in the way of physical, chemical and biological. First is physical characteristics. So in this slide, what is physical characteristic? You can see here information and data on the physical composition of solid waste belongs to physical characteristics. These are important in the selection and operation of equipment and facilities, and in the analysis and design of disposal facilities. So basically physical characteristics are very important where selection and operation of equipment and facilities, and in the analysis and design of disposal facilities. Next, and here are major physical characteristics and other physical characteristics. So as I told you earlier, major physical characteristics are more important compared than other physical characteristics. So major physical characteristics are density, moisture content, waste particle size, and other physical characteristics are color, shape of components, optical property, magnetic properties. So basically, what is density here? We know what is density. The density of waste, basically in general term, if you talk about density, the density of two types. First is mass density, second is weight density. What is mass density? Mass density is mass upon volume, and weight density upon weight upon volume. Okay. People are saying weight density is specific weight, both are the same stuff, same thing. So density of waste, that is mass per unit volume. A unit of density is kilogram per meter cube, we all know. It is a critical factor in the design of SWM system. For example, that is the design of sanitary landfills, I told you, storage, type of collection and transport vehicles, etc. For an efficient operation of landfill, compaction of waste to optimum density is essential. It is very important to compact in sanitary landfill method the wastage, and density will increase by compacting the stuff. Okay. Next is, you can see this is the example of density basically. After that, any normal compaction equipment can achieve reduction in volume of waste by 75%, which increases as an initial density from 100 kg per meter cube to 400 kg per meter cube. So basically, if we are doing compaction with the help of compacting equipment, then we can reduce our volume of waste by 75%. If the volume of waste is 100 kg, then we can reduce our volume by 75 kg, and the resulting volume will be 25 kg. The same way, we are describing the mass in the form of density. If talking about a normal compaction equipment, then we can achieve reduction in volume of waste by 75%. An example of it, which increases an initial density from 100 kg per meter cube to 400 kg per meter cube, because we know density is equal to mass upon volume. So density is inversely proportional to volume. So if our volume is decreasing, so our density is increasing. Okay, simple thing. After that, municipal solid waste as delivered in compaction vehicles have been found to have an average density about 300 kg per meter cube. Very important question. It can be asked in your exams, or maybe was asked in your objective question. So density of municipal solid waste is 300 kg per meter cube. After that, a waste collection vehicle can drag 4 times the weight of waste in its compacted state than when it is uncompacted. So what it is saying, a waste collection vehicle can drag 4 times the waste. So basically what it is saying, if we are compacting a waste, there are two samples. First, there are two cases. First, compacted waste, and second is uncompacted waste. Okay, I am explaining the third point of this slide. What it is saying, a waste collection vehicle can drag 4 times the weight of waste in its compacted state than when it is uncompacted. So I am talking about two cases. First case, in that particular case, a waste is compacted. In second particular case, it is uncompacted. So in compacted phase or in uncompacted phase, suppose in compacted phase weight is 400 kg and in uncompacted weight is 100 kg. The example I am giving to belongs to third point of this slide. So basically, if we are dragging, basically if we're dragging or if we're pulling the compacted weight, then we can easily compact. Then we can easily drag 4 times the compacted weight compared to uncompacted weight. Okay, fine. So that was third point which I have explained here. After that, come to the next slide. What it is saying. So next is moisture content. What is moisture content? Everybody knows moisture content is wet weight minus dry weight upon wet weight into 100. Moisture content is defined as the ratio of the weight of water to the total weight of the wet waste. So if you are taking an example of moisture content, suppose our wet weight is 100 kg or our wet weight is 200 kg and our dry weight is 100 kg. Then 200 minus 100 divided by 200 into 100. That will be 100 upon 200 into 100. That will be 50%. 50% is moisture content. Okay. Next, moisture increases the weight of solid waste and thereby the cost of collection and transport. Very simple thing. If there is a moisture in increasing weight, then the weight of solid waste will be increasing. Weight of solid waste is increasing, then collection and transportation will be increasing. Fine. After that, it is a critical determinant in the economic feasibility of waste treatment by incineration. Incineration, I told you, we burn our solid waste in the presence of oxygen, because wet waste consumes energy for evaporation of water and in raising the temperature of water vapor. So for incineration and in incineration we burn the solid waste. So wet waste consumes energy. When we burn the solid waste, then it consumes energy for evaporation of water. Here what will take place? Here evaporation of water will take place, and when evaporation of water will take place, it means temperature should be high. The same thing it is written here, and in raising the temperature of water vapor. Next is a typical range of moisture content is 20 to 40%. However, values greater than 40% are not uncommon. So basically a range of moisture content is 20 to 40%. Still values greater than 40% are not taken or are not uncommon. After that, particle size. So we are talking about basically physical characteristics and basically major physical characteristics. Right? What is particle size here? The size distribution of solid waste are important in the recovery of materials, especially with mechanical means such as trommel screens and magnetic separators. What is trommel screens? I will show here. After that, it plays a significant role in the design of mechanical separator and shredders. Basically, what is particle size here? The size distribution of solid waste are important in the recovery of materials. So basically, we are talking about size distribution. Okay, you have studied size distribution in geotechnical engineering or soil engineering. So basically, for particle size, if we are reducing the particle size, then we are using, or if we are separating the particle size, then we are using trommel screens and magnetic separators. Okay, so basically these are trommel screens. You can see. We can basically, what we are doing here, we can just doing the heavier particles into smaller particles. Okay. After that, the size of waste component may be defined by one or more of the following measures. Basically, size of waste, so SC, basically what is SC here? Size of solid waste. It can be belongs to length. It can be of length. It can be of L plus W by 2. It can be of length plus width upon W. It can be of L into W power 1 by 2, basically under root L into W. It can be L plus W plus H upon 3, or it can be cube root of L into W into H. So major means of controlling particle size is through shading. Shading, I told you, shading, basically what is shading? Shading means cutting and grinding action, I told you. Okay. After that, shading increases homogeneity, increases the surface area by volume ratio, and reduce the potential of liquid flow paths through the waste. Particle size will also influence waste packaging densities. Particle size reduction could increases biogas production. So what particle size reduction will do? Particle size reduction could increase biogas production through the increased surface area. So basically, if we are increasing the particle size reduction, then basically we are increasing the surface area, and more surface area means more availability to degradation by bacteria. Fine. So in this lecture we have studied major properties of solid waste. In next lecture we will study about other properties, okay, or other characteristics you can say. So see you in the next lecture. Till then, take care, be healthy, be safe at your home. We also want that we interact with you people as soon as possible. So till then, take care, stay happy, stay at home. Bye bye.